Bob, Rob, and Ram. Nobody asked, but we give you our opinions. Acknowledge us like Roman Reigns to all his minions. Coming from the grave like our name was Undertaker. Women's wrestling is cool, but where the hell is Britt Baker? Coherence takes abandon all hope. We talk shit like Ricochet from the top rope. We are marks, sometimes we're friendly. Sometimes we show our whole ass like Mandy. We are Mick discussing what is the latest. Jericho is the GOAT, but Sid is our favorite. We are marks. We are marks.
What's going on? My bad, Bob. I cut you off. We were talking. I didn't realize the theme song was just going to start playing, but what's going on, Marks? We are back. It's the We Are Marks podcast. I'm your host. My name is Ram, and it's just Bob Oos today on the show. What's going on, Bob?
What's going on, America?
Yeah, not too much. Rob is once again away on some religious retreat. He'll have to tell us all about it next week. He's a very religious man. So, I'm glad that he gets to do these extravagant religious trips that he goes on. I think he may be called the mission trips.
Yes,
yeah.
Mission. I think he's building a house.
Yeah, in some third world country or something. All right, anyway, he'll be back next week, but we are here anyway. We're talking Elimination Chamber and, of course, you know, the things happening in AEW, which, you know what, it was a better show this week, so I don't have too much to bitch about. Well, we're going to start it off with the Elimination Chamber. WWE will predict that, but before we get there, I would like to talk a little bit about some of Monday Night Raw, which was a tribute show, if you will, for AJ Styles. And for a while there, watching the show for a while, I was kind of like, is AJ here? Because they kept showing like all these people from his past and whatnot, and that was great. But we got to the point where I don't remember them saying that they were going to have like a little thing at the end. They kept talking about this like show dedicated to AJ Styles or whatever, and showing these guys. And there was a while where I was like, is AJ here? Because this is weird. This is getting weird.
I think it took till Punk did allude to it, even though he said he was trying to save time for AJ and then did not seem to want to save time. He got a little long-winded, but that was the first that I realized AJ was going to come out, was from Punk. So I agree.
Now that you mentioned that, I do remember that in passing that it was mentioned, but for a while there, I was like, this is weird. And then,
well, it certainly wasn't a phenomenal show to pay tribute to AJ Styles.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was very bad. And I told you that it was the first time I watched Raw live on the minute of when Monday Night Raw was happening. I was like, this is why I don't watch Raw live, because I could have watched this show. I could have listened to this show while I did the dishes and not missed a damn thing. But anyway, it happened. AJ Styles got a moment at the end that I thought that was great. I'm glad he got a chance to, talk a little bit about why he's walking away from wrestling despite still being phenomenal. So it was a great conversation. Then The Undertaker's music hit. Okay, and I went, does The Undertaker just come when people retire? Did he come out for John Cena? Probably.
Is John Cena announced for the Hall of Fame? I don't think he is.
No, I don't know. No, but I just meant when Cena retired.
Oh, I think it's a Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame deal now. He's
maybe.
Like the guy.
So like when you see the videos on social media of the guys getting inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's always like a Hall of Famer from their past coming to talk to him. It's just The Undertaker's the guy for WWE.
Well, maybe it's like it's sort of like The Undertaker, the grave site. He's taking people out to pasture into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's a little symbolic.
But you tell me, during the conversation with The Undertaker, did it not sound like we were setting up another match?
I think AJ thought he was trying to set up another match because even AJ seemed a little confused when he was talking, and it seemed like he was like, where are you going with this?" So I agree. It was a little
Wait,
bizarre.
do you think AJ had no idea that was going to happen?
I don't know. I think if he did, though, he still was like, "How are you gonna wiggle your way to the Hall of Fame?" Because I think everyone was taking it like he wanted to have a match with AJ.
That's what it sounded like. And then when he hit us with the Hall of Fame thing, I was like, "Oh, what a fucking
Yeah.
letdown!" I thought we were gonna get one more really cool like boneyard match or something. That would have been sick. Anyway, whatever. AJ Styles, I guess we can write him off the ship. He's done. It sounded like he's done with wrestling. None of that sounded like I might show up in somewhere else. It sure sounded like I'm going home.
I think it's unlikely, very unlikely he's going to show up somewhere else. It's wrestling, though.
Yeah.
I think he's retired. I'm not saying he's going to go. He's lying, but if you tell me in 2 years when they're in Saudi Arabia and they offer the guy $5 million to come out and have a match, that he would say no. I mean, the guy's got kids, he's got a family. I don't think
Yeah.
money's money. So, and he alluded to too that his son was interested in wrestling. So if he becomes Dominic Mysterio, I think AJ would probably want to get involved. So, but I don't foresee we're getting that all in Will Ospreay versus AJ Styles for the AEW title that
I tell you
people
what,
wanted.
If AJ Styles' son actually gets into wrestling, those are I like think about all the second generation wrestlers, and I'm like, that might be the biggest shoes to fill. Like the expectations would be through the roof before he even starts.
Yeah. As far as ones that we have now, at least, yeah. I mean, you could say Ray, but I think I would tend to agree with
I think you could take one look at Dominic and know he's not Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd imagine AJ's kid is very athletic looking, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Right.
Not that I've ever seen him, so I'm not sure. Anyway. Okay. The only other thing, this has to go into the predictions. Rob gave us a prediction, so we're going to let you know his predictions. But what's in the crate, Bob?
I'm going to go with the betting odds. I think it's going to be very nice, very evil Danhausen.
Is that really
That's the leader, and I'm going to go with it. I think.
Really?
I mean, it makes sense in the way of I could see Danhausen coming to the WWE. I think if you're going to have a human being in that box, Danhausen's one that you could believe that he's been in a box for weeks. He doesn't look like he eats much, so I think it works.
He probably doesn't have to eat because he's magic or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well.
I'm actually gonna take my prediction. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna take it a step further. I think Danhausen is gonna be in that box with the video of who took out Jacob Fatu. I think we'll get a closure
in the box with video.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. That's a very interesting take. Rob predicts it's going to be a statue of Triple H. So put that into the universe. And so you've seen betting odds for this?
Yes. Apparently you can bet on anything.
Is being a promo for the video game in the betting odds?
No, I've seen mostly humans, and then you can take an all around a new championship or
I just feel like there cannot be unless it's Danhausen. I will suspend my disbelief if it's Danhausen. If it's anybody else, I'm like, come on, bro. You're gonna tell me
especially a very because I was thinking Jericho. Everyone was saying Jericho, but if Jericho comes, he's too serious. Like I've heard Bianca Belair, she's too serious. You could have a comedy, haha, suspend disbelief. But if you're going to try to have somebody that's serious, you can't have them in that box.
I mean, that looks like one of those like shipping containers that you put on a boat, right? That's what it looks like. So those things are like those things are like airtight. Even if you had food and water, you would die in there. For sure. you would run out of oxygen and die more than likely in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
And let's be honest, it's gone city to city, and I don't think they're taking tender care of the box. It's probably been in the back
Definitely
of
not.
trucks and things. So yeah,
Get this fucking thing out of here. Okay, I mean, fair enough. It's very stupid, and this is honestly why I kind of hope it's something stupid because it's very stupid. So that's just my take
great.
on it. I don't know what they could possibly do to make it cool unless it's unless it's
Yeah.
Danhausen. If it's Danhausen, sick. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do, but
Well, eventually someone's going to have to be the comic. I mean, R-Truth's not going to be around forever. They tried to fire him once already. So, I mean, you know, I hope it's not Kit Wilson.
all right, let's talk Elimination Chamber. We got 4 matches on this card. Not a ton for story here. Starting off with Becky and AJ, which is maybe the best story on the show. So it's which I know you already hate it.
Yeah, I'm not in love with the story. I guess my predictions will be predictions or what I would do, I guess. But I think that Becky will walk out as the champion. I think Natalia will get involved, either cost AJ or disqualification or something. Maybe AJ wins by DQ, but I think we'll set up for a 3-way now that Maxine, I guess, is out of the picture. I think it'll be the 3 of them at Mania. And, I think this will go a decent amount of time, though, because they do need to get AJ wrestling. I mean,
Yeah.
she really has not done a lot.
Agreed. Let's dig into something you just brought up, and I'm glad you did. We might go on some tangents here. We got to talk about this
Yeah.
Maxine injury angle on Monday Night Raw because, if I'm not mistaken, it happened 1 segment after Bronson Reed tore his bicep and had a very similar situation. Of course, not unconscious. And I just feel like maybe they should have called an audible or changed the order, at least, of what was happening on the show. Because after we just saw Bronson Reed actually get injured, it really just didn't hit for me that Maxine was supposedly knocked unconscious, although very obviously was not knocked unconscious based off of how she reacted to Natty not letting go of her hair.
Yeah, so I agree. I'll give some defense. If this is going to lead to something at the pay-per-view, Natty getting involved, Maxine, whatever, you did have to do it at some point. You could have done it later on the show. The other thing I had an issue with is we've seen people get hit off the post so many times. We see it in the middle of a match. It's not a disqualification. A lot of times it's a transition spot where somebody gets hit off the post just so the other person gets the advantage. Now all of a sudden we're going to treat that like it's the most dangerous part of the ring where she gets knocked out. I thought they could have done something a little bit more dramatic to get to that point because there is part of me, I'm a little wavery on Maxine in general, and you kind of made her look like a geek, and she looked like a geek 2 weeks ago when she was crying on the announce table when she was in the sharpshooter. So I sort of just felt like, what are we doing here?
Well, Maxine is a geek.
Yeah.
That much is for sure, bro. And the look on Natty's face, bro. It's like I understand she's trying to look menacing. She's trying to look like I'm a killer, but it's just it's like a mom who's really mad at her kid. Just like
Yeah.
and it just doesn't work for me, man. This Natty character doesn't work for me because I've seen Natalia for over a decade and I don't buy it. I'm sorry, bro. Don't buy it.
That's the biggest problem with the character is we've seen Natalia for over a decade, and it's not like she was gone for 2 years training UFC.
Right.
And she came back as this killer. This is just she decided one day she was going to change her clothes. I mean, that's
yeah,
that's not really menacing.
Yeah. So Rob predicts a Becky Lynch loss by DQ. setting up a WrestleMania match. You're predicting Natty to get involved to set up a triple threat match. I think AJ wins to set up a WrestleMania rematch where Becky will get the title back. That's my prediction. So I'm taking AJ. Next, we got the World Heavyweight Championship match, which I will say Finn Balor. Finn Balor is a solid story. It's probably going nowhere. Maybe a face turn, not sure. The Finn Balor story is fine. CM Punk and Finn Balor, not a good story. Nevertheless, the match is happening. Punk and Balor, what do you think?
Yeah, I think with this story, it's just an awful shame. I understand they have to meet different masters and they have to be worried about ticket sales, but just for the quality of the television, having that Roman Reigns CM Punk segment a couple weeks back just really brought down the interest in this match. I wish they could have done it this upcoming Monday after CM Punk defended the title. I think that would have made more interest in potentially where they're going to go if who Roman was going to challenge was a little more up in the air. But unfortunately, they had to do it a couple weeks ago. I don't see any reason that Finn Balor wins the title. I don't think you're going to give it to Finn to lose it in the next couple weeks to get back to Roman and Punk, and the triple threat match makes no sense. So Punk wins. Hopefully it's a good match, and hopefully they can move Finn on to something interesting, because I do think him being somewhat in the spotlight the last couple weeks has, showcased what he can do.
Yeah, I guess so. Punk wins, obviously. Rob predicted Punk wins too. I don't even have to look. I know that's the case because I'm 100% chance Punk is winning the match. But I think so. When they had their first match, Punk hugged Balor, but Balor didn't really hug him back. I think we get full face turn from Finn Balor here. He's gonna really piss off the Judgment Day when he shakes hands with CM Punk and embraces who he is, the Prince, Finn Balor. That's what I think is going to happen. And we're going to get a babyface turn for Balor, probably leading to the Dominic match at WrestleMania, which you guys brought to my attention last week. And now I think is the direction.
Yeah, and I think that what you just said would work, especially in Chicago, where it's going to be a home game for Punk. And if Punk embraces Balor, all of a sudden he's a babyface, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Women's Elimination Chamber. Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. Let's just get it out of the way. Rob put in the text that he's picking Kiana James to win this match.
I think Kiana James has done a good job the last couple weeks. I think she's got some potential, especially character-wise, but I can't say I agree with the prediction. I don't think Jade and Kiana is going to be the WrestleMania match, but I do think she has established herself as a character separate from just being Julia's manager. And I think a better direction for her would be either Charlotte, where they had the segment on SmackDown at WrestleMania, or potentially Julia if they want to do the full split.
Yeah, sure, why not? Kiana James does have this aggression about her that's pretty fun. I'll give you that. Who are you picking though in this?
I'm going to go. I had one choice, then I debated it and was thinking another, but I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa makes the most sense from the story standpoint. That she had the tag team with Charlotte. They lost the titles. And now you've seen the last 2 weeks where Charlotte has sort of hinted that she sees herself as the more important member. Valentine's Day, she gave her the picture. She thought that would make Lexi's day. Then last week, when Alexa Bliss qualified, Charlotte didn't, and she kept saying, thinking Alexa Bliss was going to have a breakdown. I think Charlotte right now seems like a character that's having a breakdown. She wanted to be in this chamber. I think Alexa winning the chamber and ultimately winning the title would be the perfect way for Charlotte to complete the breakdown by seeing her best friend do everything that she wanted to do and expected to do at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So just looking at this, just based off of who's in the match, I mean, I like your idea of Alexa, but do I think Alexa could beat Jade? Do I believe WWE would book Alexa to beat Jade? Not at all. Not one bit. The only person that I think makes sense for Jade is Rhea. I think Rhea and Jade is a WrestleMania main event. I think that's a fantastic idea. So I'm going to pick Rhea. But I have this idea on how they can salvage what they did on the other side of WWE. Could Raquel win this match and say, I also want to challenge Stephanie Vaquer and make it a three-way at WrestleMania?
You know, it's crazy that you said that because if you didn't, that was the question I was going to ask: is what if Raquel wins? I think that is another storyline wise. I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. It's interesting. What do they do on SmackDown after that? But that's for someone that's in charge of writing creative television to figure out. But I do think that that's a good idea.
It could, the Bianca Belair coming back thing could be for Jade.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know that Bianca Belair has been out for 10 months because she got surgery on her finger? Her finger, bro.
There's part of me that's surprised they didn't. I'm not even saying this joke. Broken finger for that long with the problems. I'm surprised that she didn't lose her finger for a broken finger for that long. A broken finger is like 2 months, isn't it?
I don't know. I broke a finger and played football the next week. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I mean, I feel terrible for her because the finger must have been terrible.
Must be real bad.
I've never heard of anything like that.
It must be real. It must have been hanging on by a thread.
It seems like, based on the fact she's not in the chamber, unless they do what you said and Bianca finds her way back in, it seems based on the reports, she's not even, like, WrestleMania might be a stretch.
Yeah. I don't even understand how it could have happened unless I know she makes her own outfits. Did she sew her finger or something?
Sewing accident.
A little sewing accident?
Might be time to hire a seamstress.
That's very interesting. You know what? For fun, I'm going to pick Raquel to win and also challenge Stephanie Vaquer. You know what they straight up should have had Liv not pick.
Yeah.
And then get this into a three-way. I think that salvages it because there's no real story between Liv and Stephanie. And I don't love the chemistry they're having in their promos, but if you had another Spanish-speaking woman in there, I know the Dom translating thing is kind of a funny deal, but I think it would really work. But granted, they have been just going with the winner of the chamber challenges Jade, so I don't know how they get around that, but
I mean, it's wrestling. You can
that's true. Interesting concept.
But yeah. I do think, to your point about the announcing who wins the Royal Rumble, that, and also I wish they would get away from the champions not defending in the chamber. I think that is something that's missed on these shows.
Yeah. See, I really think they need to move when the chamber is. It should stop being before WrestleMania, and it should be for a championship. I don't love I guess that's what you're saying. I don't love that the winner of the chamber gets the WrestleMania main event. I think it pigeonholes them into, I guess also it gives them an out. It gives them we don't have a story, so who can we put into the championship? Right. How do we get there? Oh, they win the Elimination Chamber.
That's what I'd bring back King of the move Elimination Chamber and then do a King of the Ring to determine King and Queen of the Ring to determine, one night tournament or the old school way.
Yeah, I agree. That's a better idea. Because I mean, back in the day, didn't they just do it all in one day, like an 8-man?
Yeah, it'd be a little tougher if you did the men and the women in one night, obviously. But I mean, even if you just did the semifinals and the finals or something, you could find a way to do it.
They did do that a few years ago, right? When Gunther won it in Saudi.
Yeah, you could do the semifinals and the finals. That's 4 matches.
They didn't give it to Xavier Woods, though.
Yeah. And then I think Shane McMahon won once, didn't he?
That was the greatest wrestler of all time tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Which
And it's Ric Flair. Happy birthday to Ric Flair, by the way.
oh, it's his birthday. Still gets it up, I'm sure. Men's Elimination Chamber: Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso, who I assume is only in this because Bronson Reed got hurt.
I'm going to go outside the box here. I do not think Cody Rhodes wins. And I think based on last week's SmackDown interaction, I think that Sami Zayn takes out Cody Rhodes, and I think he wins the whole thing. And I'm not saying that Cody won't be there at the end, but I think there'll be some more stuff going on to get there. But I think we're going to get a little twist and turn.
Did you just predict Sami Zayn to win this?
I think he is. I think he is. And I'll go a step further.
Wait, he's not in the match though.
He's not in the match. I think he's going to take out Cody Rhodes. He's going to enter, lock himself in the pod, and he's going to win the chamber. And I think at the end, after Sammy's done, Danhausen is going to come out with the tape. The tape will show that Sami Zayn took out Jacob Fatu. And then Cody gets in the match because Sammy took him out. Jacob gets in the match because Sammy took him out. And that's how you get your multi-man match at WrestleMania.
And you make it a
fatal four-way. Drew, Sammy, Cody, Jacob.
Yo, that would actually, if I wish you didn't even say that to me and then that happened, because that would have blown my mind. I'd be like, wait, what the fuck's just that? That's very interesting. I'm going to take Cody Rhodes to win because that's what's going to happen. But that would be pretty cool. Very interesting if that did.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're going to have to find a way to make it a multi-man match. So that was my thought to try to tie it all in together.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. And then Sammy wins, huh?
Let's not get crazy. Well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, he'll be probably at that point the biggest heel. So who knows?
Can you imagine Sami Zayn, the biggest heel in the industry? Crazy.
I would say Sammy wins, or probably Jacob, or maybe Cody slays all the dragons. Who knows? But
yeah, probably the latter. Probably the latter. Rob's taking Cody. He says hopefully Fatu gets added.
I can't wait to hear his thoughts on my prediction. He's going to be freaking out probably.
Yeah. Okay, before we go over to AEW, I guess we do have to talk about it. I already mentioned it a little bit, but it feels to me like the vision is cursed, my guy. It feels like the vision is cursed. They're just going literally the biggest star in the vision, and it's just going down the ladder. Logan Paul is next. And then and then Paul Heyman, and then Austin Theory will get hurt.
Yeah, it's a shame. I obviously feel terrible for Bronson Reed. It seems like he's going to be out until almost the end of the year. I don't see how you can salvage this group. And I think it would be worse for the situation to have them be a middling tag team act at this point. I think it would probably be best to probably have one of them turn on the other and just go solo with Heyman, unless Braun Breaker can come back and then you just break them all off. But I don't think it's a good idea to have the vision continue. You see what it's kind of doing to the bloodline MFTs. I think it's just time to cut your losses.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? Heyman with Lesnar just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
And looks so much better. And that should be where Paul Heyman is all of the time. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, he issued an open challenge via Paul Heyman. Who do you think?
Yeah, I thought the segment was good. I think the way to do it, if it was me, is you got a lot of time, and apparently Brock's going to be on the show for the next month or two. I'd have some new geek come out for the next 4-6 weeks, maybe go up the ladder each time, have Lesnar lay waste, and then that last week when you want to announce the match, Oba comes out, Brock tries to lay waste to him and can't do it, and there's your big match.
Yeah. God damn it. I hope it's Oba. The only other person I'll be okay with is if it's Gunther. If it's literally anybody else, it's not going to hit. It's just not going to hit.
No, and I know LA Knight was tossed around, but that's just not the place for LA Knight.
LA Knight should and would get murdered by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So yeah, pass on that. All right, did I miss anything from WWE you want to bring up?
No, I think we covered all the tracks there.
Awesome. Swerve Strickland. I believe that's a heel turn, my guy. Rob was correct on that. He said Swerve's going to turn heel soon. He said it for weeks. We weren't sure because we believe in Swerve as a babyface, but God damn it, is he a good heel too? And I loved seeing him kick the shit out of Kenny Omega.
Yeah, it'll be tough. The promo last night, people do want to chant "Whose House." That's very popular. I'm not sure if he'll take it a step further. I hope he doesn't take out Prince Nana. I think the act is great together, but he may need to find a way to kick it up a notch to get more of a universal heel reaction. But yeah, Swerve is great. I thought taking out Kenny was well done, and it'll be interesting with Max being the champion where Swerve can fit into that equation. But they're not really loaded at the top for heels, so he might be okay.
Well, Hangman and MJF are set for a Texas death match at Revolution, which if I don't think Hangman loses those matches very much, if at all. And he also put his future AEW title contention on the line here. So I could absolutely see, as Rob told us last week, Hangman's going to win. I could actually see that happening. And I could see this heel Swerve beating Hangman, and we just run that back.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I think it would be a bad decision. I know last week I was hard on Hangman. I'm not even going to go there. I just think with Max as champion, the shows have been better. I'm not crediting that all to Max, but it is a common denominator in the shows being better. I think, we don't really talk about the ratings and stuff, but they seem to be improving. I think it would be a bad decision to take the title off of them. I know a lot of people have compared this to the Cody Rhodes situation and the damage that did to Cody when he was in AEW, not being able to challenge for the title, but that was a different set of circumstances. Cody was adamant that he didn't want to break that. If Hangman does lose the match, he can always be a huge heel who goes against his word, or potentially they find a storyline similar to last year with Moxley where he's the savior and has to go against his word for the best interest of everyone because the fans are clamoring for it. So I don't think it's impossible. It's not like it's an actual legal contract that Hangman Page can't be the AEW champion if they have a lose.
That's very true. All he has to do is turn heel and say,
Yeah.
I was just bullshitting. I'm going to challenge for AEW title. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I honestly, I'm kind of lukewarm on the MJF champion thing. And I think it's just the way it's booked. Honestly, like, I feel like for MJF to be the world champion that, for all intents and purposes, AEW should have MJF be, he has to win these matches.
Yeah.
Like, he has to beat the Samoa Joes. He has to beat the Hangman Pages. Because right now, I just watched him face Brody King. There was 0% chance I believe Brody King was beating MJF for the world title. 0% chance. So there's got to be it's got to be booked this way. I just find it a little strange that they're doing the I'll never challenge for the title again thing, and I find it strange they're doing it in a Texas death match.
Yeah.
Maybe MJF has a new heavy coming.
Yeah, that was a thought I had, is that Hangman could get screwed, and maybe you don't really want to get out of the stipulation that way, but maybe there's something there. But yeah, I just don't think it's the right time to take the title off of MJF, and I don't think Hangman's the guy to do it at Revolution. I think, like you said, a big win for Max right now feels important. Obviously, we're a couple weeks away, so the story will continue to change. Maybe our predictions will change, but right now, I don't see any reason to take it off of Max. I think when you eventually want to do that, it should be a bigger moment against, whether it's Hangman again or what, but it should be a bigger moment, and they should continue to build Max up.
Yeah, 100% agree. I don't really have a ton from AEW, so you'll have to help me out if I'm missing something. But one thing I do feel like I really need to bring up is this Hook boss of the ops thing, because they did a little promo where he said, "I'm recruiting for the ops." He called himself the boss of the ops. Now we find out Shibata is also hurt, which tells me that Hook is not only the boss of the ops, he's the only active member of the ops, which explains to me why he's the boss. Because he shouldn't be the boss of anything, but he's the boss because he's the only one left. And this has got to be, who the hell is like, yeah, I'll join Hook? Who the hell's doing that?
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's these teams, when they lose their leader, it's just really hard to keep them strong, especially one that I know the Joe thing happened, you couldn't anticipate it, but they really didn't do anything to build Hook up as a serious leader. I don't see who would join, and I don't see who would really care. Other than being a lackey for Joe, he really has not done anything that noteworthy over, I mean, it's got to be 6-8 months.
Since he joined the ops, and then like he was gone for a while before joining the ops, and then there was like a 2-year period, but then like before that, Hook was over. Over.
There's, forgive me, there's so much wrestling, maybe you forget things, but if you ask me the last time Hook did something important, it would have to be when he feuded with Jericho, and that might have been 2 years ago.
I'm thinking longer.
Well, I remember when Punk said send Hook, but I think he's done something since then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Ever since there was actually a period of time where they did like the Superman Hook thing on the ceiling, where it was kind of dumb. But
Yeah.
when they first started doing that, I was like, this guy's cool.
I liked Hook right off the bat. I know
I remember.
Rob didn't like seeing the little guys suplex the big guys, but I liked his offense. I mean,
but
he wasn't Taz, but
I promise you, I've said it before, but he's not here today. So we can agree on this. When we can say 100% on the podcast, Hook could 100% suplex the shit out of Rob, for sure.
100%.
100%. He could probably suplex me and you and Bob.
Yeah.
He's incredibly strong for a little guy.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we should talk about something we talked about today was Megan Bayne, and I would just like to explain myself. Okay. I would like to explain myself because Rob's obviously very big on her. He said that Megan Bayne is too good to be in the tag team division. That's what he said to me. I personally think Megan Bayne is a perfect person to be in the tag team division. I think she's a great fit, and I think it's a good way for her to get in-ring action without having to be in a 20-minute match, because I don't think she's ready to go 20 minutes with Mercedes Moné, and I think that was the point that I was trying to make, is that realistically, she would be a perfect monster heel for Mercedes as a babyface to eventually beat. Will Mercedes ever be a babyface? I don't know. But this is the thought that I had in my head when we were talking about Megan May. That's who she could be, but she ain't there right now. And in my opinion, all she is a generic looking big bitch. And the comparison was to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is another one who is honestly, athletically in the ring, not ready to be a world champion. But Jade has this aura about her that puts her, she can get away with not being a great wrestler, honestly, because she is just absolutely captivating. You said she looks like a female superhero. That is exactly what I meant. Jade has this it factor Megan Bain just does not have to me. So I don't, in my opinion, I said, I don't even, is Megan Bain American? Is she Australian? Is she British? I have no idea because I can't even think of what her voice sounds like.
No, I don't know. I don't think. I think Megan Bain could beat Willow for the TBS title. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think she's quite too big as in the main event. I don't think she's ready for that. She had the match with Tony and they had a fun back and forth, but I expected them to win the titles. I'm not sure what direction they're going to go with Penelope Ford now hurt. I don't know if they want to throw this new woman in there and win. I do think from the aura standpoint, having the two of them together has taken a little bit away from Bane. I think she had some uniqueness, especially in the AEW women's division, that I think has been lost by pairing her up by adding what's her name,
Lena Cross.
Lena Cross with Megan Bain. But it seems like the direction. I know she won a match on Collision and said something to Willow, so I expect at some point that's the way they're going to go, but I'm not sure.
We're recording this on a Thursday. We normally do it on a Wednesday. So there's an entire episode of AEW Dynamite I haven't seen, but I did see on social media. Oh, I hate this so much. I hate it so much. The post said, Cross is here in AEW. I was like, hell yes, let's go. I click on it. It says Lena Cross. I was like, oh, come on. What is that?
That's a great job by the AEW social media team. Little clickbait right there.
That's great to get clicks. Great to get clicks.
Tony should give that person a raise.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't really have much else from AEW. Am I missing anything you feel like we need to bring up?
Well, you haven't seen the match, obviously. I did think that that Mile High Mayhem was a good, crazy television match, and I like the direction of this Bucks and FTR, FTR feud. I think Revolution shaping up to be a pretty good looking pay-per-view. I wish Andrade was in the title match, but we talked about that. But all in all, it's a pretty good show.
Hangman and MJF are going to give us blood.
Yeah, and I do like what they're doing with Moxley. I think that even though I am not a huge fan of these title eliminators, I think him just going out and having great matches is in itself telling a pretty good story of him and the struggles of trying to beat some of these guys and doing it the right way. So we'll see. I think, obviously Moxley and Takeshita should be a really, really big match coming up at Revolution too.
Sorry, I thought I let all my cats out earlier and one was trying to get out the door. But anyway, that's next week's content. Unfortunately, I know that we're recording after you've watched Dynamite, which we normally don't do. But we do need to leave some AEW content for next week. So we'll wait till I watch the show. But I mean, you've given me at least a mild excitement to watch the show. I mean, that's it. Listen, Rob's not here, so we lost all of his fun little quips and off the wall ideas. But that's it. Elimination Chamber this weekend coming up, and that'll pretty much tell us exactly where we're heading for WrestleMania, and that's fantastic. Looking forward to it. We'll watch Dynamite, and until then, enjoy your wrestling.
We are marks. We are marks. Bob brought around. Bob brought around. Nothing more to poke.